Okay, so this video is about how to construct elevation C on the plan, making the model house. And so by now you should have been able to understand some of the measurements, and you should have had one of these boards made by now with all the walls on it, where the doors go, where the windows go, another wall here, and also you should have made one of these, your little cutting box with a little trap door, so that when you cut all your studs they're all going to be exactly the same length. So what we need to do here is, first of all, we need to set out what's called the top and bottom plate. So we've got a piece of timber on the bottom, and we'll have a piece of timber on the top, and in between we need to put the studs, but they need to be all in the correct space. So by looking at the plan, I'll go this way. Which way is elevation C? If I go this way, elevation C here, which is this one here, we can see that it's 500 millimeters long from there to there. Now also you'll notice that there's a couple of little squares with crosses on them. That represents where the studs are going to go. Now you'll also notice that this end there's 3 crosses and this end there's 3 crosses. What we need to do is we need to create what's known as a blocked end. So that blocked end will sit there like that. We also need to create a wall junction, because we have another wall here. We need to create 2 internal corners, and that's what this is for. That's a wall junction, so that when this stands up like that, when the other wall goes in, it creates 2 internal corners. But first of all, we need to set out where all our studs are going to go. So we know that the ends are going to be blocked ends, so it's just a matter of getting one of your studs, 1, 2 and 3, put a cross where the stud is going to go, put a B where the block is going to go, and the same at the other end. 1, 2, 3. Put a cross where the stud is going to go and put a B where the block is going to go. Now the window junction. Now we need to have a bit of timber on this inside corner here. So we need to have a piece of timber here to create the internal corner here. And we now need another piece of timber here to create an internal corner for this room, because this wall later on there'll be a piece here that creates this little internal corner here. But this block here then goes widthways, goes like that, and a block. Now we need to calculate where all our studs go. Now according to our specifications, the studs are to be no more than 60 millimeters apart, centre to centre. So that means from the centre of one stud to the centre of another stud, it is not allowed to be more than 60. If it's more than 60, then the integrity of the wall is diminished. So what we need to do is we need to calculate how many studs, or how many studs we're going to fit in here, because these are known. That's fixed, that's fixed, that's fixed. The rest we're not too sure about. So starting at your end here, 60. So you know you've got a 60 millimeters there. Now make sure when you do this, make sure you bring it back this way. Go back towards your line, because that's half of your cross. Okay, I'll show you that in a minute. So 60, the next one's 120. And I'm going to go back a little bit. The next one is going to be 180. I'm going to go back a little bit, and the next one should be 240, which that is less than 60, so that's okay. So now that we've got those marked, I've got that going back that way, so that means that our stud needs to go on this side of your measurement. And because I've already done that, it just starts off the cross. So there's that one. That one. No. Same on this side, 60 millimeters. And go backwards, 120. Go backwards, 180. Well, we've got a stud here already, so that's fine. We don't need to do that, so we just need 2 there. I've already started my cross there, so that means I can finish that off. Now in real life you don't do this on the floor, you actually do it on the top and bottom plate, but this is to give you an idea of how how you're going to set up your top and bottom plate. So that's where all your studs should be. Now, you've got your top and bottom plate cut to, should be 500 millimeters. Now, what we want to do is to make sure that these are dead straight, we need to mark the edges of these. So all we need to do is just tap some nails, just tap them together, make sure they're level at each end. Same at this end. Now lay it on its side, don't do your markings on the top and the bottom, you do it on the side. Now if you look at that, we need to transfer these up to here. So we can do that easily by going like this. I'm going to do the same what we did before. 1, 2, 3, and that's a cross, 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 B for block. Same at this end. We've got a stud, a block, a stud. So cross for a stud, cross, cross, B for block, B for block. Now this measurement from here to here can be a bit tricky. So these are 19 millimeters here, plus 250 to here. So that I'm going to do that by measuring it actually. So 250 from here to here according to the plan, plus 19 equals 269. So I'm going to actually measure this 269. And then my timber has to go on that side. Okay, and then you can do the same with this one. You just put the block there, because that's going to be a block, that's going to be a stud, and then you're going to have another stud here. So if you want, you can transfer these up, or you can do exactly what I did on the board. Put your ruler here, measure it at 60, and bring a little line back, 120. Bring a little line back, and what's the other one? 120, 180. Bring a little line back. The same here. 60, 120. So now I can mark all these off. Because we want to make sure that your studs are dead straight. If they're crooked or slightly, they're not plumb, they're not straight up and down, they're not going to be strong. So we've got a stud there, stud there. So there we have it. That's set out. Now all you need to do is your blocked ends and a wall junction. And I'll show you how to do that in the next video.